అవుతుంది సార్ ఒక్కొక్కసారి.
Okay, no problem. Okay, good morning, my dear legendary students. Warm welcome, pleasant morning. So, congratulations, you are coming to Monday. You are coming to online webinar of classes of Sri Vasavini College. So, I am Sri Krishna, HOD of Zoology, Sri Vasavini College. Today, we are going to discussing about a new topic that is already we discussed respiratory. What is respiration? What is respiratory track? Okay. So, what is important of what type of respiratory organs are there? We are discussing. Today we are going to discussing about. Come on, tell me what is the structurally functionally unit of lungs? Come on, tell me. Structurally functional unit of lungs is called what?
Alveoli is the structurally functional unit of lungs.
Okay, alveoli is the structurally functional unit of the lungs. It's called alveoli. Very good, excellent answer, Bushra. Nice. So I want that type of answer for all students, not only one person, right? So today we are going to discussing about. Come on, tell me how many millions of the alveoli are present in the lungs? How many millions? How many millions?
700 millions.
Very good, very good. Excellent answer, Varun. Excellent answer, Varun. You have done a fantastic answer. Okay. Thank you very much. 700 billions are there. Okay. Now I'm going to one more question I will ask you. For example, which part is known as a junction of air and food particle? What beta? Pharynx. Very good, very good. Excellent answer, Akila. Pharynx. Nice. So that is called pharynx. Okay. Now, one more question I would like to ask you. In the pharynx, whether food is entered, air is entered. Food is which is enters into respiratory tract. Is it right? This possibility is there. Anyone? Possibility is there?
Food does not. No, sir, no possibility. Because because epiglottis is present.
Very good, very good. Excellent answer. Excellent answer. Epiglottis, right? So, if it is epiglottis is present, that's fine. Okay. So, if the food should not enter into the respiratory tract. Now, in a very important thing. So, in trachea which is made up of trachea which contains which type of rings are there, which shape of rings are there, and the rings which are made up of what material? Come on, tell me. I want dynamic answer quickly. Adiba, Bushra, Jesse. Tell me.
Trachea is a C-shaped ring, sir.
Okay.
Cartilage rings are present. It is elastic in nature.
Wow, very nice. Excellent answer, Bushra. Thank you very much, ma.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Trachea which contains C-shaped cartilage rings are there. So that's why it is elastic nature. So which is responsible for the breathing and respiration, the air particles, right? So now today we are going to discussing about how one question I asked previous class. What question I asked, come on, tell me. So that question already. What question asked? Come on, tell me, Bushra. One question I asked. One question. Previous class. What question? What question, ma? What question I asked? So once I repeat a question. Whether very important thing.
Please.
Tell me, ma.
When we take the oxygen from environment, our lungs will be expand or contraction takes place. That's
okay. Then okay. So nice. I would like to give one more time to repeat the question. Come on, tell me. We are inspiring. We inspiration to inhale the oxygen into lungs. The lungs should be expansion. That is the first case. If the first lungs are expand, the air should be enters. Which is right? First question, first point of what? If the air is enters into the lungs should be expand. That is the first case. The second case, if the lungs are expand, the air should be enters. Both are correct. Come on, tell me. Which is right? Which is right? Come on, tell me. Which is right, ma? So, tell me.
During the expiration, lungs will be contract.
Okay, that is right, of course. Of course, that is absolutely right. And my question, you try to understand. For example, see, if you know very well, this is lungs. Okay, this is lungs. You know very well. Okay, these lungs are there. Okay, now clear. And these lungs are whether my question is whether air is enters, oxygen is enters, or air is enters into lungs. Air is enters into lungs. The lung should be expansion. Okay, that is one of the case. If the lungs are expansion, the air should be enters. Both statements are right. Which is right? Both statements are right or wrong? Come on, tell me. Okay, so I would like to, that is called a respiratory mechanism. Today we are going to discuss about the what ma? Respiratory mechanism. Respiratory mechanism, very very important. Respiratory mechanism. Okay, so how to takes place of respiratory mechanism, right? So the respiratory mechanism means already told you the two statements are there. For example, the respiratory mechanism, which parts are involved in? Here, remembering one thing, I would like to do that answer today. So respiratory mechanism, what is respiratory mechanism? Okay, so we are breathing, very important thing. Breathing, okay. So for what purpose we are breathing? Because of energy purpose. What is breathing? What is respiration? Both are same. Both are same. Okay. So come on, tell me. Anybody? So what is the difference between breathing and respiration? Both are same. Both are not same. Both are not same. So that should be we are discussing about in the respiratory mechanism. So respiratory mechanism. So already told you. First one, external respiration, internal respiration, and cellular respiration takes place. In these what ma? In these respiratory mechanism, what happen ma? Mainly these type of activities are. Number one, external respiration takes place, and internal respiration is there, and cellular respiration is there. That is the main thing of the respiratory mechanism. What are the respiratory mechanisms? Come on, tell me ma. In the respiratory mechanism, so number one, external respiration, okay. Next one, internal respiration, okay. Next one, cellular respiration. These are all the types of respiration we already discussed, right? External respiration, internal respiration, and cellular respiration we are discussing now. So now let us come to the point. In these three mechanisms are there in the respiratory mechanisms, right? So external respiration. What is external respiration? What is external respiration? Okay, now. So I think the board is visible. Usra, board is visible. Writing is visible.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, thank you very much, ma. So external respiration, so internal respiration and cellular respiration, right? So what is external respiration? Already we discussed, right? Between external respiration means what now? External respiration between the exchange of gas, between the environment to lungs to environment. External respiration means what ma? So the respiration between the environment to lungs to what happened ma? Environmental. So environmental to lungs, that seal should be enters. Okay, from lungs to outside, that is CO2 outside. That is called external respiration. But how the mechanism it takes place here? Very, very important thing, ma'am. What is the mechanism involving here? Okay, so that is in the external respiration I am going to be discussing about. In the external respiration, external respiration, what are the parts are involving? Okay, very important thing. So number one, what are the important number one here? Okay, number one, external, internal, coastal muscles. Okay, na? What muscles, ma? External, internal, coastal muscles. Here two muscles are there. External coastal muscles, internal coastal muscles. Okay, these muscles are, for example, this is the ribs are there. This is the ribs are there. Very important thing. Here, ribs are there. In these, all ribs are which is holding. All ribs are which is holding by which muscles ma? That external and internal coastal muscles are to be holding. Total to be holding up these pelvic ribs. The pelvic ribs and lungs to be holding with the help of the muscles. That muscles is called external internal coastal muscles. External internal coastal muscles are there, right? Now, next muscles. What are the muscles are? Next one here. So what man? Thoracic cavity. Okay, ma'am. Number one. Number three, diaphragm. Number three, what, ma'am? Here, diaphragm is there. It is diaphragm visible? Mishra. Diaphragm visible diagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the diaphragm, ma'am. Okay, now. So diaphragm is there. The diaphragm is okay to guarding the lungs. The diaphragm which is separated from thoracic cavity to abdominal cavity. Okay, now. So diaphragm which is guarding, which is separate that means thoracic cavity and that means abdominal cavity. So this diaphragm also which is responsible for the external respiration. What is external respiration? Already told. So exchange of gases between the environment to exchange of gases from the environment to what environment to here. So the oxygen in, carbon dioxide out. The exchange of gases from environment to lungs, environment to lungs, okay, lungs to environment, that is called external respiration. In the external respiration, what are the parts are involving? What are the main important muscles are involving? Okay, now number one, in the external respiration, mainly two type of respiration is there. That is inspiration and expiration. Inspiration, oxygen is enters into lungs from environmental lungs. That is called inspiration. Okay, now so the carbon dioxide which is moves from lungs to outside, that is called what ma? So expiration. So internal external respiration which contains how many respirations are there? Mainly number one, inspiration. What ma? Inspiration and expiration. Inspiration and expiration. Inspiration means what ma? To inhale the oxygen into lungs, that is called inspiration. To expiration, to exhale the carbon dioxide to outside, that is called expiration. But here Here internal coastal muscles are what is a major play role here? Okay, now the mechanism of external respiration, mechanism of inspiration. Mechanism of inspiration. Inspiration means what, ma? The environmental air, and that is oxygen which is enters into lungs. That is called inspiration. How? First step. Okay, first. So diaphragm is that diaphragm is contracted. Diaphragm is contracted. Number one condition. Number two, internal coastal muscles are contracted. The external internal muscles are which are holding the pelvic ribs, right? The pelvic ribs are holding by, so that is internal coastal muscles, right? And diaphragm also holding the thoracic cavity, right? Number one, first step, the thoracic is contraction takes place. Thoracic is contraction takes place, so that is one of the case. First, external coastal muscles are contraction, and number two, diaphragm also contraction takes place. So external intercostal muscles and diaphragm is contracted, in that condition thoracic cavity which is enlargement takes place, expansion takes place. Ultimately lungs are expanded. Okay now. So these intracostal muscle, diaphragm also contraction, in that condition lung size should be increased. Size should be increased means expansion takes place. In that condition, what happens, ma? In the lungs, low air pressure takes place. In that condition, then compared to environment, in the environment, high pressure of air is there, and in the lungs, low pressure of air is there. In the environment, high O2 pressure is there, then compared to lungs. That's why lungs are expansion. The lungs must be required oxygen. Right? In that condition, lungs are expansion. The air should be enters from environment to lungs. That means respiratory tract, through the respiratory tract. That is called what, man? So now that is called inspiration. Okay, now once I repeat. Number one, internal coastal muscles are contracted, and what happened, ma? Next, what, ma? Diaphragm should be contraction takes place. In that condition, thoracic cavity is to be increases. Ultimately, lungs are expanded. In that condition, in the lungs, okay, the space cavity should be increases. That means low O2 pressure is there than compared to air. In that condition, what happened, ma? The environmental air O2 pressure to the pressure, the oxygen should be moved from high concentration to high pressure to lower pressure in the lungs. That is called diffusion. So in that cavity, that means what, ma? The environmental air, high pressure of O2 enters into nostrils to nostril cavity to pharynx to larynx to trachea to primary, secondary, tertiary, bronchial, and alveoli. This is called what, ma? Inspiration. Understood, Bushra? Come on, tell me what is Adiba, and I think Adiba is there. Adiba is not there, right?
Not there.
Okay, ma. So what is inspiration mechanism, Bushra?
In inspiration mechanism, first internal and external coastal muscles are contracts, and
Okay.
next diaphragm also contraction takes place. In that condition, thoracic cavity will be expansion, and
Okay.
ultimately lungs also expand.
Okay.
And in our lungs, oxygen is a low pressure is there.
Okay.
And next, O2 is enters into our lungs through the trachea, bronchi, alveoli through lungs.
Okay, nice. Excellent answer about the inspiration. Nice. Thank you very much, Bushra. Next,
Thank you, sir.
to expiration. Expiration mechanism. Come on, tell me. So inspiration is completed. Now, what expiration? Expiration, right? What is expiration? Already told you. Now, diaphragm. This is a diaphragm. Okay. Diaphragm. This diaphragm which is relaxed. Diaphragm relaxed, and what ma external internal coastal muscles are expanded, contracted and expanded. In that condition, what happened ma? So here that means the diaphragm should be already contraction takes place in the inspiration, but get relaxed. Diaphragm get relaxed in that condition, and external and coastal muscles also to be contraction, that means expanded. That means expanded condition. In that condition, so what happened ma? Thoracic cavity is decreased, size should be decreased, lung size should be contracted, in that condition. Lungs what ma? Size should be decreased. In that condition, in the lungs, carbon dioxide pressure is more. In the lungs, carbon dioxide pressure is more than compared to environment. That's why what happened here in the lungs, more carbon dioxide pressure should be moves from alveoli to bronchiole to tertiary, secondary, primary, trachea, larynx, pharynx, nasal cavity, and external nostrils, which is moved outside. So that is called what ma? Expiration. Expiration. Very very important. So already told you. Once I repeat. So diaphragm get relaxed, and internal and extra external coastal muscles, which are to be, that means expanded. In that condition, what happened now? So in that condition, so that means here thoracic cavity should be decreased and lung size should be decreased. In that condition, in the lungs, carbon dioxide pressure is more. So in that condition, we require to remove carbon dioxide from lungs to environment. That's why that CO2 pressure, which is get alveoli into bronchiole to tertiary, secondary, primary, trachea, okay, then pharynx, then internal nostrils, then nasal cavity, then external nostril, which is moves outside. So that is called what ma? Expiration. So this is important about the external very important thing. So which is what happened ma? External respiration. So come on, tell me number one, what is the respiratory mechanism? You must be right. Okay, first O2 is already told to get. I think you already get the answer of yesterday question. What ma? Whether lungs are expanded, the air should be entered into lungs. But air is entered, the lungs should not expand. That is right. Very very important, and you must be remembering. Once I repeat, whether air is enters into lungs, the lungs should not expand. Why lungs should be expand? In that condition, the air should be entered. That is called inspiration. Very very important, remembering one thing. So what is the mechanisms diagram? For example, O2 is enters. Okay, so this is O2. O2 is enters into external nostrils and nasal cavity, and what ma? Pharynx, okay, and larynx, okay, and trachea, okay, and what happened ma? So primary bronchus, and secondary bronchus, and tertiary bronchus, and what ma? Bronchiole. Next one, alveoli. So once I repeat here, I will like draw here. You must be take alveoli. Okay, this is the alveoli. What ma? Here, what is enters? Oxygen should be enters here. What ma? Oxygen should be enters here. Okay, oxygen should be enters here. Okay, finally the oxygen should be enters here. This is called what ma? Inspiration. This is called what ma? Inspiration. Inspiration mechanism what? Already told you. Number one, external and internal coastal muscles. External, internal coastal muscles are contracted. Second case, diaphragm should be contracted. In that condition, what happened ma? Here, okay, lungs are expanded. Lungs are expanded. Okay, in the lungs, O2 pressure, PO2, that means PO2 pressure is low. PO2 pressure is lower. Okay, now this is a case. The environmental high pressure, high PO2 which is moves from external nostrils, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchiole, secondary, tertiary, bronchiole and alveoli. That is called expiration. Right? Now, next one, what happened ma? The same phenomena, what beta? Same phenomena, the carbon dioxide which is out. The carbon dioxide which is okay, from alveoli to bronchiole to bronchus to secondary, primary, and trachea to larynx to pharynx to nasal cavity to external nostrils to outside. The carbon dioxide moves outside. This is called what ma? Expiration. In which condition the expiration takes place already? Now what I mean? Number one, external, internal coastal muscles are expanded. External, internal coastal muscles are expanded. And the next one, diaphragm. Okay, diaphragm should be relaxed. Diaphragm should be relaxed. Here contracted, here relaxed. And what happened, ma'am? Lung size should be compressed. Lung should be compressed. Thoracic cavity also compressed. Due to in this condition, PCO2 pressure is more. PCO2 pressure is more. Here in the environment, PCO2 pressure is lower than compressed. That's why the carbon dioxide moves from alveoli to bronchiole, tertiary, secondary, bronchus, trachea, larynx, pharynx, nasal cavity, external nostrils, outside. This is called expiration. This is called what ma? Expiration. This is a external, internal. That means external respiration. That means okay, very important. Inspiration and expiration process takes place. Right now, next mechanism that is called what happened now. So this is completely clear. Now, external respiration is completed. Now, internal respiration. Internal respiration. Once I repeat, internal respiration mechanism. Okay, very important thing here. What happened now? External respiration is called. Remembering one thing. External respiration is called breathing. External respiration is called breathing. Very important. We are inspiring the inhale the oxygen and exhale the carbon dioxide only through the respiratory tract only. That is called breathing. But what is respiration? Truly respiration. But I mean internal respiration. Internal respiration nothing that. So in the alveoli. Okay now. So in the alveoli, internal respiration means from lungs alveoli to tissue. It reached to tissue. Through the blood stream. Okay. What is truly respiration means? What happened in the alveoli? Deoxygenated blood purified into, that means deoxygenated blood to purify into oxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood, for example, see, this is the alveoli. So what happened? Deoxygenated blood converted into oxygenated blood. Okay now. So through the blood capillaries, what happened through the blood capillaries is okay. So this is a deoxygenated blood and oxygenated blood. So deoxygenated blood converted into oxygenated blood in the alveoli. These oxygenated blood, these oxygen blood to move towards to tissue. The tissue required what happened oxygen. Ultimately, same vice versa from tissue to alveoli. From tissue to alveoli, carbon dioxide moves. Carbon dioxide moved from tissue to alveoli. So, and alveoli to oxygen moves towards the tissue through the blood stream. Okay, blood. So that is called here exchange of gases of deoxygenated blood converted into oxygenated blood through the blood capillaries of alveoli. That is called specially for internal respiration. So, in that after tissue reach, what happened here also the oxygen should be enters into tissue and tissue carbon dioxide comes outside into blood. That is through the process of same whatever it may be diffusion process. Environmental air is enters into lungs air into outside, that is the diffusion process. But alveoli to tissue to alveoli, so the what happened so it is exchange of gases from deoxygenated blood to oxygenated blood through the process also diffusion process. And ultimately in the tissue to blood to tissue, that is also process takes place in the what happened diffusion process. Okay, what is diffusion? I already told you. So the oxygen, that means which molecules the molecules moves toward from high concentration to lower concentration. That means it's called diffusion process. Here in the tissue after metabolic activity, carbon dioxide level is more. That means that carbon dioxide moves from tissue to blood. In that condition, the tissue required oxygen. In that condition, from the oxygen, rich amount of the oxygen is there in the blood. From oxygen moves towards from blood to tissue. So this is vice versa takes place. So that is called respiratory mechanism. Okay, now. So and in the cell, within the cell, so the what happens? The oxygen enters. Okay, the glucose is to be oxidized. Glucose should be oxidized to produce ATP energy. So that respiration is called what cellular respiration. Totally respiratory mechanisms is mainly 3 types. Number 1, external respiration. Number 2, internal respiration. Number 3, cellular respiration. External respiration is called, remembering one thing, breathing. Breathing and respiration is completely different. Breathing, nothing but only air should be enters into lungs. The lung air should comes outside. That is one. But should not production of ATP energy. That is breathing. After that, air should be purified. The oxygenated blood to be purified. The oxygenated blood into bloodstream, blood to tissue. In the tissue, the oxygen should be produced in the help of mitochondria, cellular respiration. Internal respiration and cellular respiration is called truly respiration. Okay, now. So that is important about thing. So external, internal, and cellular respiration belongs to respiration. This is a very important thing which we are discussing about the respiration. Okay, na? Thank you very much. So tomorrow we'll discussing about that means what are the important of the exchange of gases through from blood capillaries to tissue to blood capillaries in the bloodstream. What are the pigments what are the vehicles are there to transport the oxygen and carbon dioxide? Okay, na? That is called respiratory pigments which we are discussing about tomorrow. Okay, na? Thank you very much. Today the session is going to end. And one more thing, all of this session also going to uploading in the YouTube. Remembering one thing, please subscribe our channel, like it, share it, and comment it, and share to your friends also to strengthen our YouTube channel. So, Krishna Entrepreneurial Academy, thank you very much. This is Krishna, HOD of Sri Vasavadi College, signing out. Thank you very much.